Hello, how are you? My name is Jacob. I hope you're having a great day. So I want to make a quick Facebook Live about scripts, reading scripts, and why scripts, I believe, are so important in sales. Now, throughout my sales career, I have not always used scripts, but the last couple of years, I'd say the last 3 or 4 years in sales, I have used scripts. And I'm telling you, it has made a huge impact in my sales, my confidence on the phone with people, and my level of preparedness when I'm talking to prospects. So now when I'm talking about scripts, I'm not saying, when we think of scripts, we think of, the telemarketer that calls us on the phone and mechanically, with no personality says, this, and that. And we just know it's a script, right? They're not really, it's like talking to a robot. They're not really listening. They're not really engaging. It's just scripted. That's not what I'm talking about. However, when you get on the phone with people, whether you're prospecting, presenting, closing, you need to know exactly what you're going to say next. Now, sometimes people will throw a real wild objection at you that you've never heard before, or a question that's kind of like a one-off. Sometimes that happens, and you just have to improvise at that point. But your presentation, your prospecting approach, your objections, you need to have all that scripted out. Because I'm telling you, you will be so prepared and so armed for any objection that comes your way. Now, in my sales job, I have all my presentation, all the objections I ever get typed up. And when I started at my sales job, I literally spent weeks memorizing the responses to each of the main objections. Whatever sales job you're in, you're going to have 4 or 5 at the most, usually, main objections. 4 or 5, maybe even 3. Main objections that you're going to get over and over again to the product or service you're offering. So those main objections that you know are coming, when you get to the end of the presentation, you just know it's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. You need to have really good responses crafted to those objections, and you need to memorize them. Not so that you can repeat them robotically, but that you know them so well in your head it's just going to spill out of your mouth. Like that's how it is with objections. I have read over these responses I've typed up so many times and I've memorized them and repeated them that I don't even have to look at the script. I don't have to read it. I just know what I'm going to say. And not to say that you can memorize everything, but for the big objections you have, you want to have that memorized and scripted. And if you don't have scripts, get with your sales manager, get with someone higher up in your company. They will be able to help you craft responses. But I'm telling you, you don't want to wing it. Because when you're in a sales type of environment, you're trying to close or you're trying to get people to do things, nerves are running high, right? Your heart's pounding, you got cortisol and adrenaline running through your veins. You're going to forget what to say. You're going to say something maybe that doesn't fit. Or you might get out of the meeting and think, why didn't I mention this, and that? Why didn't I say this when he had that objection? That can all be avoided if you'll just take the time to script your responses, memorize them so that they sound natural. I'll give you an example. Let me see if I can think of a good example. Say, in the job I'm in, they're required to put a down payment. And that's a big objection. None of my customers could put a down payment down. And this is my response. I already know it. That's a good point. I totally understand. The good thing about our program is we allow you to break that down payment up into 2 or 3 installments. We give your customer up to 3 months to complete their down payment. Once their down payment's complete, they can move on with the service after that. And most of the time they're like, oh, okay, I can break it up. Great. If they continue on beyond that, I tell them we do require your customer to put 30% down. But we find that gets them a lot closer to moving forward than having to come up with the whole amount. And I would just encourage you not to prejudge your patients. Some of them won't be able to do the 30% down, but some of them will. To be honest, we wouldn't be in business if no one could put 30% down. Boom, boom, boom. Got it. And those responses are so powerful, but I've memorized them. I've put them to memory. So I'm telling you guys, scripts are where it's at. You've got to have scripts. Don't depend on your memory. or don't depend on your own sales acumen or your own just kind of natural spontaneity. You want to make sure you have those important objections scripted. I'm telling you, it will make a huge difference in your sales career, and you're going to feel so much more confident, and you'll be less anxious. When you know what you're going to say, when you can see it coming, okay, I know exactly where this is going. Boom, boom, boom. Boy, your life's going to be a whole lot better. Hope you got value from this. If you did, share it with your other friends. Let me know in the comments what you think about scripts. Have you used them? Are you for them? Are you against them? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear. Thank you so much. Have a great night. God bless.